Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am your entrepreneurship tutor, Professor Henry Wies of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. This is a lecture to my students of Introduction to Business and also entrepreneurship, but a practicing business person will always find it useful. I am talking about small business failure. Yes, look, my business is failing. What do I do? This person here is thinking the business is broken. What do you do? Sorry, we are closed. We really had no idea what we were doing. And indeed, somebody simply crying over failing business. So we are talking about small business failure. Yes, in 2017, it was reported 70% of small and medium enterprises in Kenya fail within their first 3 years of existence. This was research by Jacqueline Douglas of Liverpool John Moores University in the UK, together with Alexander Douglas of the Management University of Africa in Nairobi, together with David Muturi, the CEO of Kenya Institute of Management in Kenya, and of course, Chaki Acheng, Head of Research and Development at the Lion Group, ICEA Lion Group in Nairobi. You can get them at that link. Come 2018, and it was reported that 1 out of every 5 businesses fail in the first year. And if they survive this, then about half of the businesses fail within 5 years. Again, this was reported like Business Today, giving reasons why businesses fail. In 2021, reported, this is the National Bureau of Statistics, the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, only 10% of small and medium enterprises are able to stay afloat after 10 years of their start. That source. The message is many small businesses fail after just a year of their starting. So the question becomes, why do startups fail? Yes, these are again some statistics, researches giving us reasons why businesses fail. There are a variety of them. Sorry, I'm taking only one of them. Look, it cuts across, well, lack of a business model. In all researches, we have one reason that cuts across why startups fail, and that is lack of business model. In other words, it is not checked. When we start businesses, we don't check, is this business desirable? It is feasible? Is it viable? And it is the sweet spot where desirability, feasibility, and viability meet. That intersection is the sweet spot. And it is not always that startups check for that. So, why do startups fail? Let's elaborate on the desirability, feasibility, and viability. Ask yourself, when you are starting a business, is it desirable? Are there customers who want it or want my product? Is there value for the customers? Am I going to produce something valuable? Have you developed attractive customer relations? That's the desire. Have you made your idea or your business desirable? Then feasible. Can customers be reached? Is it possible? Do you have resources to carry out the business activities? Will you attract helpful partners? Is it possible to do this business? And then the viability. Yes. Can you generate good revenues? Can the revenue surpass costs? These are questions that we ask, or you should ask, even before you start the business. And even if you are already in business, you may want to, monitor and evaluate your business by asking the same questions. Now look, if your business is desirable, yes, there are customers who want it, and it's feasible, yes, they can be reached, but it is not viable. It will not bring profit. That is the intersection of only desirability and the feasibility will be a loss making. Yes, it may be desirable, it may be feasible, but it's not going to be viable. It's not going to generate revenues. It's loss making. Look, it can be feasible, possible to do it. It can even be viable. You have resources to carry out, yes, but even the revenues may surpass costs. But you see, it is not desirable. Still it will be loss making. It will still be loss making even when it's desirable, viable, but not feasible. So we have what we call now the sweet spot. Your business will not fail, will succeed if it is one, desirable. We have customers want it. You are addressing a given demand, existing demand. It's feasible. You have resources to carry it out. And it's viable. It will generate revenues. And that is when you can decide that my business will not fail. So, to succeed, you need a business model. The term business model refers to a business plan for making a profit. It identifies what will be sold, the target market, and any anticipated expenses. Business models are important for both new and established businesses. Established businesses should regularly update their models or they will fail to anticipate trends and the challenges ahead and therefore fail. But perhaps the most important aspect of any model is the value proposition. This is the description of how the business is different from its competitors. The benefits the business will give to the customers to stand out from the competition. What we mean therefore here is that don't just go into business. Go to business with a difference. See how you are going to stand out of competition. What is it that you are going to do better than them, or what pains of the customers are you addressing? What is the value? So, as a guide to thinking through your business, this is how we have drafted it, conceptualized it. First of all, you have a product or a service. Describe the product or service that you want to produce. What problem does it solve? Find out the problem in the market. Find out the need. Find out the demand and address that demand. Don't just rush in the business. And then the key resources. What assets must the business have to compete? List and cost them if possible. Yes, don't just go into business without guessing or actually finding out the resources that you will need to run this business. Many times, some of us do. Key partnerships. Now, might you want partners? Why? Which? In most cases, business people don't think that they need partners. But indeed, virtually every business will need a partner. Be it your supplier, be it your alliance. Think about it. That partner might be helpful. Then figure out the key activities. What will you do to operate? Think through that. Any training required? Might you need training to do what you want to do? In advertising, will you spend money or resources on advertising? Think about that. And then think of the customer segments. Who will you sell to? Are they students, the youth, institutions? And how large is that market? Thinking through this helps you cement your going into business. Then the elephant house, value propositions. What is the business uniqueness? What is its uniqueness? How different is it from competition? What extra are you going to the customer to give the customer so that they keep coming to you? And then channels. How will you reach the customers? What will be your marketing channels? And when you get the customers, you reach them, how will you interact with them? How will you grow them? How will you keep them, retain them? Think about that even before you go into the business. And then the cost structure. What will you spend on? The raw materials, the equipment. Put in the numbers under their costs. And finally, the revenue streams. How will the business earn revenue? What volumes will you produce? What prices will you charge? So this guide will help you think about the business before you go into it, and it might minimize or reduce the chances of failure. Now, a common version of business model is the business canvas. The business model canvas is a business tool used to visualize all the building blocks when you want to start a business, including customers, the routes to the market, the channels, the value proposition, and finance. Now, using the business model canvas approach is a great way to force yourself to focus on the most strategically important element of your business. It is important. That is a pictorial representation of the business canvas. You see, it has about 9 blocks. From the extreme right, you have the customer segments. The customer segments, these ones. The customer segments. Who are you going to sell to? Then there is the value proposition. What is it that they lack that you will go to offer them, so that probably you attract them away from the competitors? And the channels, how will you reach them? The channels, how will you reach them? And then the customer relations, how will you retain them? And how will you grow your business base or customer base? What activities will you involve in? Does the business, what activities does the business require? And what resources shall we need? Any partners? And finally, now, when you put all that together, you'll see what it will cost you and whether it will be revenue. Now, this is a business canvas model. Let's look at it again now. You start by saying, who will be my customers? Those are the customer segments. Number 2, What value or benefits will I offer them? And that's what we call value proposition. Number 3, how will I reach the customers? Those are the channels. Number 4, how will I retain and grow my customer base? Those are the customer relations. Number 5, which activities will sustain me? Those are the key activities. And number 6, which resources will I require? The key resources. And then, will I require any partners? Number 8, which costs will I incur? Make sure you have all the fixed costs and the variable cost. And finally, where will the profit come from? And therefore, that is your business model canvas. Let's take a hypothetical example of business model canvas for farmers of one-day-old chicks. You want to deal with one-day-old chick business. The customers may be your local retail outlets, poultry farmers, those who buy the day-old chicks and then grow them, brokers. Those are possible customer segments. And what value proposition do you want to propose in your business? Maybe you want to do home delivery. Other competitors, your competitors simply wait until the customer goes to them. Maybe you want to do a difference to home delivery. Maybe you'll have after-sales customer care services. You don't just sell and keep quiet. That could be a value proposition. And how will you reach the customers? Word of mouth, internet, WhatsApp, Instagram. List all that and make sure that you actually use them. Now, which customer relations will you keep? Maybe you'll offer discounts for loyal customers, or you'll be offering breeding help. Those activities will help retain and even grow your customer base. Now, activities, of course, you'll be keeping your parent stock because you are going to hatch. You'll be doing market surveys. The resources, the chicken themselves, the parent stock, personnel, incubators, yes. And any partners, maybe feed suppliers, sawdust suppliers, for those who use sawdust in their chicken houses. And then the costs, the cost of the house for the chicken, cost of the incubators, cost of electricity and other utilities, cost of labor. All these have to be considered. And of course, then revenue you will get from sale of eggs, sale of manure, because when the sawdust and the droppings, you clear them from the house, you'll get manure. So this is a hypothetical example of your canvas for the day-old chicks. Thinking through makes you ready for the business, and you correct possible mistakes early enough. So in summary, take this as road to your business success. Yes, live in the future. When you start your business, look in the future, the success. You are living the future today. So step 1, ask yourself, is my business desirable? Number 1, it means answer the question, who will buy my product? What are my market segments? 2, what uniqueness am I offering? That will be a value proposition. 3, how will I find, keep, and grow my clientele? Those are customer relationships. And then, how will I reach my customers? Your channels. That is step 1. When you answer all those questions and you provide them correctly, you would have answered the question, is my business desirable? Step 2, will my business be feasible? So, what will I do to operate the business? Your key activities. Which things will I require? Your key resources. Will I need any alliances? Key partnerships. When you answer these, and of course other questions, you will discover whether it is possible to do this business or not. And step 3, finally, will my business be viable? So you are saying, what expenses will I incur to start and keep the business? Those are the costs. And then, which will be my source of profit? The revenue streams. We keep chicken, for example, and little do we know that the manure from the chicken are also a source of revenue. Little do we know that the egg shells are actually a source of revenue. Little do we know that the feathers are a source of revenue. Think about that. So, if you enjoyed it, like it, share it, subscribe. And if you wish to support us to bring you more, donate by simply visiting www.mukmik.co.ke to follow the instructions or direction for donating. You can as well donate by using buy good steel number 547-6465. Yes, we do entrepreneurship training, all sorts of entrepreneurship training. We do strategic planning. We do customer satisfaction surveys. We identify business diversification routes and many other aspects of business development, entrepreneurship. You can reach us through that email, bwihem@gmail.com. You can also call us at +254 Kenyan code 722-858507. Have a business like they want you.